Time for exercise. Run, 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 jump, run, 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 jump, run, 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 jump. Henshin belto, henshin belto. A iu a o, kakikukako, sashi suseso, merimi shadafa. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rider Time Archive here on the Morphin Network. And yeah, we are almost at the end game. And as we just described, we are not only covering Kamen Rider Kiva episodes 41 through 43, but also we are discussing the Hyper Battle video because we know that some of you guys might be asking, why didn't you guys discuss the Hyper Battle video? Well, here we are. We're discussing the Hyper Battle video right here.
And when you finally, when we give it to you, you're gonna be like, "Why did you review it then?" Because you demanded it, and we're giving it to you. And as a famous online critic with a tie and glasses would say, "We watch it because you don't have to."
I remember it, so you don't have to. Just like how we will archive it, so you won't have to. This is the Rider Time Archive. Yep. And yep, here we are. So let's quickly do the Hyper Battle video so we could get back to our regularly scheduled program. So Hyper Battle videos have been a thing since Kuga. It's supplementary material. It's usually available with a subscription to Telebi-kun. I only have like one or two official copies.
It's one of those things that it's kind of like the recent announcements that they have done for Kaku Ranger and Deca Ranger as of late. That's been making the rounds. It's only via exclusivity to those who are subscribed to a certain service in Japan. And because of the internet, bless its heart, we can get that, but to find a good source of it, unless you were a native fluent Japanese speaker, quite difficult.
Yeah, no, with vendors like To Collectibles, for example, it has become a lot easier because you could just purchase, the Hyper Battle DVDs off of them with certain issues of Telebi-kun magazine. Heck, I actually have the Kamen Rider Revice Hyper Battle magazine because that's the only way you're gonna get the Build Kangaroo Vice stamp. And
apparently, when I was in LA last year, I found a couple of magazines or things that someone had sold back to Jungle, and one of those was a Kiva, a Forze, and I believe a Wizard. Like one of those magazine books that I was like, that apparently no one was buying, and they were selling them at very, very cheap. And I had no idea what I had bought. I was like, oh, okay. And so, yeah. So that's how rare it is, but also how, I don't want to say unnecessary.
Yeah,
I don't want to say unnecessary. It's kind of like
supplementary material.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah,
it's kind of like options at. It's just options, pretty much. You want to, or you don't have to. There's not really anything plot relevant.
It's like when it comes to Neo, Heisei, and Reiwa era, you only have to concern yourself with it if you're a gimmick toy completionist. Because for example, for Build specifically, two of the full bottles are Bear and TV, and
again with the bear,
Telebi Kumo. Yeah, there we go. And so in order to get those two full bottles, you have to get the Telebi-kun Hyper Battle video for Build, and it's basically a clip show of him using a bunch of full bottle combinations till he figures out how to do it. Just before his fight against what's it called? Kazuma from Kazumi from
it's basically Otoya. It's great.
Otoya. He's basically Otoya. Like
it's
before he
great.
fights Otoya from Hokuto, in that proxy war thing. And
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I mean, yeah. There is that. I mean, I know people who are major that I didn't even know with Build, Forze. I think also Gaim had a few of those where it's like exclusive lock seeds.
Yeah.
That were like, wait,
the fresh fruit lock seeds.
Yeah. Those were, I had no idea. I had not a clue. And I think I have it around here. I just don't know where I put it.
Yeah.
But again,
I never bothered getting the fresh fruit.
A vendor just I bought something and they threw it in. Had no idea what it is. And I was like, oh, it's a lock seed. Only to find out, I'm like, well, if I'm low on cash, sell the lock seed.
Yeah, what's it called? I remember my first Television magazine I ever got was actually my first Morphicon in 2010. It was a Go Sager issue from CS Toys, and what's really cool is that it came with like paper cutout Gosei Knight blade gun. His blade gun. Yeah. So you have to like unfold it. So you have to fold it in order to like turn it into its gun form. And you could refold it to its saber form. But the thing is, the hinge joints don't really lock in properly, so I just kept it in gun mode. It's so much so that I brought it with me in 2012 for the next Morphicon. So I was doing my own fan-made 6th Ranger for Megaforce, because the Megaforce wasn't announced yet, but we knew it was going to be next.
We knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And little did we know.
Yeah, so I made my own fan-made civilian costume for Gosei Knight for his American form, which he would never have, and basically the gun would be his morpher, because why not?
As it should. I mean,
as it should, yeah.
As it should.
Better than having it as a phone,
I mean, I get the phone motif with Gosei Knight, but I'm it's kind of like what they did with Ninja Steel. As opposed to Ninja, which again I have not seen either or, and I would I at this point people just watch the Japanese. Yeah, and I'm because again I don't understand how we have a problem, or more so American censors have a problem when in the past they have had people using weapons or certain things besides a wrist morpher or a cell phone to transform into. Especially the whole Naruto was very big at the time. Why did you change the frog guns into why
well, they didn't use the frog guns to morph. They used the swords.
They used the swords in that, but in America they used
the giant star-shaped thing that's a multi-purpose weapon.
Was that not like a weapon? So it's still instead of a sword, it's a giant star.
It's a giant crossbow / gun.
It's a kurenai. It's a throwing star. An actual projectile weapon.
Yeah.
You don't think that
at that point they may as well just make the frog phone the morpher instead.
They should have made just the frog gun or something or they should have taken I don't know, take the frog mech from season 3, Johnny's mech, and then have them hold it and then just do that and be yeah. And even so, it's I don't know. That censorship. Go figure.
Yeah, no, it was pretty weird. But see, I had the paper cutout version of the Gosei Knight Morpher because it was included with the blaster paper cutout, but it was very floppy material, and it's supposed to
Yeah.
connect to the gun like it does in the show, but it's not doesn't do it very well, so I just left
Was
it
it
out and just said
origami?
the gun is the Morpher in the American version that I made up. Oh, and by the way, since you brought up Ninja Steel, fun fact: when Peter was on stage with Yoshi in that fateful day back in 2016, and like he was like posing with the Saber Ichibanto, that was my Saber Ichibanto because I actually was cosplaying as Yakumo that day, and I got a horrible sunburn that my brown wig turned blonde, so I ended up looking like Donald Trump. But but yeah, it like someone wanted to get the Yoshi and Peter to take a photo together, and like I shouted, "Peter, catch!" And I threw him my sword. He caught it just quickly enough for the pose.
Oh
like,
yeah, the clip that goes around. Yeah. Because everyone's like, "Oh, where did that come from? Where did they plan that?" I'm like, no.
It was me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because if you look at it, I don't think he like knew. You know, it's just like it just kind of came out of nowhere. It's like, no, a fan threw it up. Like little did we know, people, who it was. Now we know.
Yeah. Nanja Oja Ninja. Oh yo da 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 da. Yeah, no, like I was like low key a little upset that day because I thought a bunch of us were gonna do like ninja cosplay like we did at AX the previous year, but no, everyone like switched gears to Ju-Oger, so I was a ninja all by myself. But thankfully, but what's really funny is our lovely cinnamon roll, Miguel. He was cosplaying as what's his name, Anosan from Kyoruger. So it's like you got Kyoru Blue and Ao Ninja together, and because
Yeah.
like we took a photo 10 in the morning, and little did we know is that our American counterparts would be brothers in real life.
Well, no one really knew, and it was like, okay, that's
Yeah, no one knew.
no one knew, especially
Yeah.
especially with how much that these two have been like. I wouldn't say they are. Maybe they're the only ones. I'm not sure, but the fact that these two have been more like hands on with the series and even with the Japanese, that they're like that the utmost respect
Yeah.
is given to them. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, they are Japanese, I believe. So, well, and didn't one of them like star or like appear in a Sentai series?
Yeah, Yoshi did appear in an episode of Ninja, which was funny because later, like, he gets rescued by Owl Ninja, but little did he know that Owl Ninja's American counterpart would be his younger brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And again, like me and Miguel, like because we're just really chill like that. We took, this picture of the two of us together. Like we already knew that Miguel's American counterpart was Yoshi, but we didn't know who my American counterpart was gonna be. But as it turns out,
That was actually a very nice surprise. Although I was kind of like wondering. Well, I know that year I was kind of like meh with a lot of the cosplayers because they were doing Zoo-Oger. I personally do not like Zoo-Oger.
I surprisingly liked it. Like for me, it was like I was expecting to hate it.
The villains itself was an interesting like motif of what they were, but just everything else was just like the morpher, the mechs, the characters themselves, the whole like. I mean, I gave like a little bit of a snark comment to Babunder like before it even aired, but apparently the like it's been more accepted and loved now from what I've been hearing, and also the fact that Solsuke came back, which I'm like, it's crazy because other than Gokaiger, there hasn't really been that many past Sentai heroes that have
Mhm.
come back in terms of anniversary series.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know that Zoolger had the Gokaigers, but it felt so weird
Mhm.
seeing them there. It just
Mhm.
didn't feel right. It just I was like, no, no. And then I saw that I just recently saw the Babunja just cause,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, Sosuke.
Yeah.
It's been a year since I've seen you.
Yeah. It's like for me, it's like I actually you see, this is the reason why I wish the final season of Power Rangers would have been
They weren't.
Ogers instead of Q
They weren't
Rangers
gonna do it. They
because
weren't gonna do it.
because here's the thing. Uh it's an anniversary season based on another anniversary season. And what's really cool is that like not only would it be the 30th anniversary of American Power Rangers, but like it would have also been the 10th anniversary of Megaforce.
Weren't gonna do it.
Yeah,
I knew
so
they.
like when you would have so then like you could have adapted that two-part episode where the Ogers team up with the Gokaigers. It would have worked. You would have brought back the cast of Megaforce, give them a redemption arc, because let's be honest, because like the cast of Megaforce are fantastic people, and when they gone on to
Oh
do
yeah,
different things,
absolutely lovely people. Love them. I've met them many a times, and they know me. And I'm like, lovely people. But
Mhm.
let us all agree, the
Yeah.
writing, I don't know how well.
Mhm.
Even so, I just kind of said it beforehand. I'm like, Go Sager and Go Kaiger. That's gonna be one hell of a thing to adapt in an
Yeah.
American series, because not the Go Sager definitely for the religious aspects, which not too hard to weave around, but you'll see the subtle hints.
Like
And then
the villain is literally Jesus.
yeah, or your Lucifer, or Jesus, pick your religious.
Like
Yeah,
his name is Brajira of the Messiah. So
yeah. So it's like kind of take your pick, but
Mhm.
and even Gokaiger was like, you look at a majority of like the of Gokaiger, yeah, they focus on like from like Zoo Ranger onward, but there's a lot, and I mean a lot more episodes that focus pre Zoo Ranger
yeah,
series. So it's like, yeah, you wouldn't even get like 25 episodes
Mhm.
of like from
yeah,
current Power Rangers up to now. So it's like, like, what are you gonna do with all the Die Rangers,
Mhm.
the Kaku Rangers, like Live Man, Jet
yeah.
Man? All, like, how are you
Yeah,
gonna do
but see,
that?
like that's the thing. Like there was that one scene where in Zyuohger where the four Gokaigers turned into Yellow Buster, Kyoru Pink, Tokyo Yongo, and Owl Ninja. And the thing is, we could have kept that scene in there, except you just replaced Tokyo Yongo with Dino Fury Green Ranger,
See,
because one
no,
Dino because
I
then
was
you would
gonna say,
have all four seasons that occurred between Super Mega Force and Dino Charge, and it would fit all four core colors. Plus,
it
you'd have a
would
male Green Ranger suit because it's
to,
Jake
to
from
kind
State
of
Farm.
finish it off and kind of be like go back to our topic.
Yeah.
I no joke, was I the only one that noticed like from I want to say after Kyoryuger, like how Sentai started to like lean more into their aspects of heroes than like I mean obviously it's one of those that like how could you adapt a Power Ranger season out of anything that has come out, but I felt like, okay, how could you adapt these are
Mhm.
very Japanese. Tokyuger, um Zoolger,
Mhm.
Lupin and Pat, like, I mean, Q Ranger could have, but I was like, that's still like, I kind of noticed, like, because the whole thing of like that the Power Rangers was whatever you want to say happened, you know. I just felt like it's like the Japanese. Usually, the Japanese like they do their thing, but we adapt. But they kind of
Yeah.
have like an equal understanding. Like, well, this is gonna go to a foreign market. They're gonna do something with it, so we have to
Yeah.
like. but now it's straight away from it.
Yeah, I think it's because part of them knew that like contracts would not be renewed, so they're like, whatever.
Yeah, they
But
kind of just went like, yeah, we're doing our own thing. We're
yeah,
gonna go
because let's
back.
be honest, they're because like even if Power Rangers continued and they adapted King Oger, they would not adapt those exosuits
No,
in
they
the
would reuse the same the same crap.
generic cockpit. Yeah,
Yeah, and there would not be the Game of Thrones style of characters and stories. Hell, they wouldn't even look like the characters or anything. It would just be again kids in high
and the
school.
thing is, it would have been interesting to have a Power Rangers team that's like based on a planet but not on Earth. Because yeah, we
It
got Power
would
Rangers
be,
in we got
but
we got Power Rangers in space and Lost Gox. I know you guys are gonna say, but the thing is, they're
but
not on a planet. They're like one team's on a
again,
spaceship and then fights on Earth.
it's that same BS that they
Yeah.
said about like how like I know people don't like Overdrive at all. Period. They don't. And the biggest thing I hear about it is because the Red Ranger is a machine. He's a robot. Spoilers for a show that's literally
More than
almost
15 years old.
yeah. You know, oh my god, yeah, whatever. At me if you want. Did we forget Power Rangers in Space, considered to be one of the most loved and probably the highest up there in terms of Power Ranger seasons?
While
that
Ashley has the hots for a lizard man.
that like I think was it the first episode or the second episode where they're like, "Wait, you're a Power Ranger, but you're human," and he says,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm humanoid, not human. I mean,
Yeah, but like I was expecting a lizard. I was expecting a lizard person, and
who said?
technically she's not wrong. It's like,
Yeah, he literally said, "Who said Power Rangers have to be human?"
yeah, like because like here's the thing: Edenites, like they're they're practically Homo sapiens, except they evolved from insects instead of primates.
You have Andros and Corone, not
Yeah,
human, not from Earth.
they
You
could
have
they could have like Chaosians could have been humans that evolved from reptiles, hence the lizard joke.
The Aquatarians,
Equations, yeah, like they evolved from ecological ancestors.
Yeah, you have Cat and Anubis.
Yeah,
you have a bunch of people, people. You have a bunch of humanoid characters that are not human from Earth that are Power Rangers, and you accept that. But
Tyson's literally liquid.
Yeah, and but an android, a robot, to be a Power Ranger, that's heaven forbid. And I'm like, this is why they have not adapted Kamen Rider to America, because can you imagine all the stories and everything of like cyborgs and non-human characters, Fangires, like demon human hybrids that are
Dragon
heroes?
Knight, but that came out in 2008. So like this is
would not be accepted. I promise you. Even though we accept it in Japanese, it's like America can't do that. But again, but we're talking about this filler, and we have to go back to Kiva filler or clip shows.
Yeah. So basically, like hyper battle videos were a thing since Kuga came out, and up to Deno, like they were on VHS, hence the word video in hyper battle video. Kiva is the first one to be on DVD, and boy, do they take advantage of that format, because it's at this point that they started using it choose your pathway type of formula. So like depending on how, like if you're not getting the official DVD, it's gonna be hard for you to keep up with everything. So I'm gonna do my best to like quickly go over the hyper battle video just to like get it out of the way. Okay, so you, the audience member, are the main character, but it's very clear that you, the audience, is definitely a dude, because you briefly do see like a 12-year-old male silhouette whose face is obfuscated. The actor playing you, the audience, is not credited, and and in the suit, and like during the suit scenes where you, the audience, are grunting, it's definitely a female voice actor, and because it's Kiva in the suits,
Yeah,
it
you're
is
not a young
aged
man.
highly.
You're a young boy.
Yeah,
in
you're a little
this.
boy. Yeah, not a little girl, which is kind of sexist, but because what if a girl like got herself a copy of this DVD? But anyways, so
Mike, girls don't
you
like Kamen Rider. Are you
girl,
kidding me?
no,
They
they're
don't
all
like
about
Kamen Rider.
Precure.
They like Precure and
Yeah,
they
Precure
I'm sorry.
season 4.
They don't admit they like Kamen Rider, but as a guy who knows and has been to the Kamen Rider diner, there was a lot of
Female fans,
young Japanese girls at that, and I was kind of like, huh. But
Tokusatsu Gaga Ga
but
is about a
but
female Tokuota.
I could not believe how many of those what do they call them? It's like what do they call the girls when they model? It's called
Gavure.
yeah, yeah. The guy version of that.
Yeah.
Because so many of these girls had those books along with the figure art. I think it was of X8 at the time. X8 and Build.
I know that
And
I know that I used to know someone that had one of those magazines where the actor who played Takeru Shiba from Shinkenger is like lying on a bed and you could see his bare ass.
Takeru Shiba.
Yeah. Yeah. You could be my 18th or 19th head.
I will be damned if at any time you can get the actor who is Takeru Shiba to a convention here in America, because I think so. Again, watching Shinkenger, every single person who I said I was watching it said, "Oh, you're gonna watch it with Japanese Chris Evans or Japanese whoever's the hot guy at the time," and I'm like, "What?" Because apparently after Shinkenger, he did a high school romance movie with Mako. Shiraishi Mako from Shinkenger, and it just keeps on going that he's been like the heartthrob for but now I don't know about now, but yeah, that's what I noticed a lot about female fans of Kamen Rider in Japan, that it's the guys. It's definitely the guys, especially now, especially with Kiva, Otoya and Wataru are very, very, very popular, like right now, in terms of modeling and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I imagine that Shuhei is getting his second wind 10 years later.
Oh yeah, no, it's yeah. But so yeah, girls don't watch Kamen Rider. Girls don't watch Power Rangers or Sentai.
Nah, they just watched Precure season 4.
Yeah. They don't watch Ultraman. They don't watch any of that stuff. And if they do, I'm like, not slamming on our actual female writer and Toko fans out there. I know you all watch it the same as we do. But let us not lie. If I'm here drooling over Shizuka, you're over here drooling over Wataru.
Yeah.
You expected me to say Mio, but fuck Mio, and we're going to get there.
See, it's Maya for me. But
Maya,
we'll get into it.
We'll get there, but I'm like, fuck you, Mio.
For me, it's always been about Maya.
It's Maya and Shizuka for me.
But yeah,
I love Megumi. I love her. Let's go out to buffet. Let's go to Korean barbecue, Megumi.
Yeah. No, it's for me, it was never Shizuka, just because it's like I was never really interested in like fictional characters that were my age, with the exception being Eureka. Like I always preferred like older female characters like Jasmine or Sakura. And by Sakura I mean from Bokenger, not from Naruto.
I will fight freaking Blue from King Ultra. You get your hands off my woman. I will fight him. I'm like, I'm about to pull an Otoya right.
Wait, when a Hot for Teacher like works out without cheating.
Also, what the hell? I'm like, you look at Deca Ranger, available on Blu-ray and DVD from Shout Factory. They're not sponsoring us, but we like to give them a
Shout
shout
out
out.
to Chat Factory.
But it's like, and especially the 10-year Deca Ranger special. I'm like, wait, Jasmine, what? What? Yeah, you remember that little boy? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, what happened? Because now this asshole, and I will fight him.
He went from Microsoma to Megasoma.
And I'm like, I will fight you, man. I will fight you. But I'm like, Jasmine, what? What? Literally Stacy's mom. Literally.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, Himeno is Stacy and Jasmine is her mom.
And,
but yeah, back to the hyper battle video before because we're already 30 minutes into the video. It's so you, the audience, walk into the cafe where you're weirdly greeted by not only Wataru and Nago, but also Otoya, and they tell you, hey, wouldn't you like to be Kiva? We'll teach you how. And you are basically dragged to do some exercise, which I will say this. I tried doing it yesterday, and yeah, it's pretty good cardio. Like exercising is damn good cardio. So if you want to like lose some like belly weight, like you got to get some cardio in. And of course everyone gets tired. So you're left with two choices. You could either A, quit, or B, continue training with Nago. If you quit, you move on to the Otoya segment of the film. But if you choose to continue with Nago, the next part of your training is a bath session with Nago. And I know bath culture in Japan is different than it is here in America, but we are 30-year-old Americans, so no, but like even if we were like in a bath house, like we still have like different sensibilities, so it's like again, it's like it's one thing if like Nago offers to wash Wataru's back. It's another thing if he's offering to wash the back of you, the audience, who, may I remind you, the audience, is a 9-year-old boy. So,
look, you gotta look at it through the Japanese.
I know.
To the point of view. I know, and that's the thing that a lot more so in today's society.
Yeah.
It's like, look, man, in Asian cultures, more so the Far Eastern Asian cultures, that it's it's no big deal. It's kind of like there's no big deal. Your body is your body, and that's it. I mean, they feel like if you're more isolated or more like whatever, they feel like something might be wrong with you, which is kind of a cautionary thing.
Mm-hmm.
But in America, we're just all like, don't touch me. Like, it's pretty much we were living COVID rules before COVID was a thing.
Yeah, especially when you have like a line of urinals. It's like no one ever uses like adjacent urinals if it can be helped.
Yeah. And especially if they don't have that like little slab of
the
stalls,
them.
Yeah. And like,
but even with the stalls, it's like like they still would avoid using adjacent stalls if they could help it. It's like when AMC theaters introduce like seat reservations on their website. It's like at any given time, available seats would look like Swiss cheese. If you want to buy 2 tickets, you're never gonna find two seats that are next to each other because everyone's always sitting 1 seat over.
Yeah.
But once you finish your training with Nago, you move on to training with Otoya, where he says, I have very special training for you. Repeat after me. A-I-U-A-O. A-I-U-A-O. Kakikukako. Kakikukako. Marry me, Jennifer from AKB48. And that's just freaking out. And even like Nago scolds him. It's like okay, like well, okay, so now you can either quit or continue training with Otoya. And if you choose to continue with Otoya, he brings out a mannequin named Jennifer. So moving right along. So at this, oh yeah, and also like during their respective segments, they do basically a clip show of like what what Ixa's capable of. And of course, Nago talks about Ixa savior mode, Ixa burst mode, Ixa riser mode, and you could tell that this HBV, even though it's not canon, does take place sometime after episode 37. And Oto's like, just because I don't have burst mode doesn't mean that Ixa in its original form is weak. I got to fight 3 arms monsters, and I still held my own. And the 4 of us teamed up to fight the lion Fangai. Remember that? That was fun. But of course, Bloody Rose starts ringing because some rat Fangaiers, who are rats, not crows, may I remind you, show up, and of course you, the audience, gets to transform. So like you get a first person point of view of Kiva like biting your arm, and it's like and of course you have the obfuscated vision of yourself, which kind of like takes away from that whole second person point of view thing. But and of course, you have this epic fight, and then you get back up from the 2 Ixas, and then you get to choose how you're gonna finish. Will you use Garuru Saber, Basha Magnum, Doga Hama, or do you get to use the mysterious 4th option? And yeah, if you,
I think I'll go with the washer and dryer.
And if you pick the mysterious 4th form, basically it's Dogabaki Emperor form, where it's like you get the base Dogabagi form, but with the gauntlets, boots, helmet, and cape of Emperor form.
It's Emperor, but Dogabaki, pretty much.
Yeah, and you could tell like they didn't put Dogabaki parts on top of Emperor. They clearly took Dogabaki
and base form, slapped on the
Emperor stuff. Yeah, it's like when you watch certain tokusatsu enough, you could tell what suit gets slapped to on what other suit, and not the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you just finish with a rider kick. And for some reason, the 3 rat Fangars just line up to make it easier for you to hit them. And of course,
what was up with that? I'm like, I don't know. It's like, well, we're already exceeding the time limit here.
Yeah, so like you rider kick them. The 3 main characters congratulate you as you try to GTFO because Nago is a total creep. Like he's trying to like do the henshin pose with 2 dumbbells on his arm, while Otoya's got 2 little like fans. Like fanboy fans, and that's all there is to know about the thing. And this isn't the first time we see a new form exclusive to the Hyper Battle video. When we get to Kabuto, we'll get to Kabuto. But yeah, that's all there is to the Hyper Battle video. Now that you guys got to hear us talk about it, we don't have to revisit it ever again. So it's out of the way. Thank God.
Don't do it.
Now back to our regularly scheduled program of dealing with. Let's
if you're a completionist, we warned you. But if not, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. It's kind of like a lot of those like Hero Tyson. While it is entertaining to watch, not really necessary.
Yeah. So we're gonna jump to 86 just to get that out of the way because so like the 3 arms monsters who had previous encounters with Checkmate King are being strangely nice to Otoya, but it's because it's all a trap in order to like kill him, because they were offered freedom if they kill Otoya specifically, but they couldn't bring themselves to do it, because Otoya's been too nice to them. It's like imagine if Yomi from Yu Yu Hakusho tried to get Team Kurama to kill Yusuke, but they're like, We can't kill Yusuke. He was the only human who was ever nice to us. And yes, I am watching Dark Tournament right now.
But the thing is that I mean, I couldn't like I couldn't like look through I couldn't possibly imagine why, like, especially with Jiro and so many other characters. Like Ricky and Ramon, not so much, but more so Jiro. Like how he was like, this could have been like an opportunity for him just to like get back at Otoya for what he did.
Because he did promise him.
Yeah, but it's like he being the good boy that he is, he dove in there to protect Otoya from King. He literally got his ass kicked.
Yeah.
For that to happen.
I do love the bat scene though.
Can you imagine that, people? Like, no joke. This guy stole your girl. This guy literally took her, and now you're defending him. Now you're saving him.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No. Especially since he dumped the very girl that he stole from you.
Yeah. So it's just like, unluckily, didn't really work out very well because they still wound up kidnapping Toya.
Yeah.
And now
so what ended up happening, okay, so first of all, I do want to address how hilarious it is to see like Jiro in his full wolfen form having like white towels around his waist. He's like, I got soap in my eye. Here, have some.
Yeah. The whole the bathhouse scene, the whole like, again, bathhouses, but it's actually in their house or in Toya's house, where it's just like having a manly man moment, and he's just like, no, what's wrong, Jiro? I got soap in my eyes. It's this Dr. Squatch. They said non-curable shampoo, but it's actually a lie. Like, I can't.
They said it's gonna be They said it's gonna be fruit bird flavored, but it's actually creature of the black macaroon.
Yeah, they try everything. Like, it seems like it would happen, but Otoya just says something that it's kind of cartoonish how it's gonna happen, but he says something to them that just makes them stop in their tracks, and
it's like I love Lisa so much, and you're my best friend. Now let's go eat, huh?
Yeah, it's like it's a very cartoony, Looney Toony way of doing it, but it's also like you know how in anime they do that whole thing where the character is like they're like brooding or whatever, and then like the one character leaves or whatever, and they're just like, hey, just to let you know, I know you were kind of a dick, but I actually kind of liked you. I actually like having you around, so thank you. And they just turn around and they just start bawling their eyes out with like the snot and like the tears, and it's like like, oh, get out of here, kid. What? Like, I just want to tell you, you're pretty amazing. Thank you. And it's like, Dad, no, don't.
Oh, basically Rock Lee, like, thank you guys.
It reminds me a lot. It reminds me a lot of One Piece. Like One Piece has done that.
Oh yeah, like Bartolomeo.
Yeah, with Bartolomeo, with Luffy, Ace, and Sabo with Dedan. You know, when they all left.
You and Sabo, the best brothers ever. I have to make sure that you find the One Piece.
So it's like,
I also love how, like, the one time someone actually wanted to join the Straw Hats, Luffy said no.
Luffy said no. No, you're not. No, I don't think the creator can do anything with you more than what we have already. Maybe later. But yeah, no, that
I would think his fruit would be super useful. Like,
well, again, when the big clash happens, and it will, you're pretty sure that the fleet will all appear, and he will too.
Yeah,
but
so because the arms monsters failed to assassinate the nicest guy they ever met, King ends up sealing two of them into little trinkets. Like, you're the last of your species, so I'm not going to kill you.
Yeah, now we know how they became the arms monsters, because it's like, well, I mean, Kiva did exist before this and has existed, but he never used these creatures before. But now we do it. Now they're sealed away as punishment because of their treacherous ways. I'm not gonna kill you. That's too easy. Death is too
Loving.
death is too much. Death is relief.
Yeah.
You will no longer suffer no more.
Plus,
Blah
you're
blah
the
blah.
last of your species, and I'm a
Yeah,
collector. Can you imagine
yeah,
if like some hunter in Africa like found like the last rhino, and it's like instead of killing the rhino, like he basically turned it into a reverse shrinky dink, and then just keeps it as a
yeah.
pet.
It's pretty much Brainiac
Yeah,
from Superman, like
yeah.
collecting different parts and then destroying the worlds or whatever. Like, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what King is, but because of certain actions and things that will happen later on,
He'll live to
like,
regret it.
yeah, he lived to regret, which we have not gotten there yet, but it's like this is just the first step in him regretting what he's planning on doing.
Right.
But yeah,
So Otoya gets kidnapped. Like Garu fails to save Otoya from getting
Mhm.
kidnapped. He turns into Garu's saber. Otoya gets kidnapped. So now it's up to Maya and Yuri to put their
Yuri.
differences aside to save
Yeah,
him.
yeah. Well, the thing was that Yuri actually was like, she didn't go find. She's like, I need to talk to Maya, and instead of going to look for her, she goes to grabs the violin,
Yeah.
like Otoya's violin, and Maya gets kind of mad because Yuri touched it. I'm like, oh yeah, no, that was just for me to
That
call
violin
you.
is not yours.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah. Just
insult the violin by playing it. You
the,
are.
the don't insult our love. I'm like, what love? Basically, it's like I want to say that the violin is a metaphor for Wataru.
Yeah. It kind of
Because it's like, yeah, it kind of is because it's like technically Wataru's not in this time right now. He's not there yet. But the
But the thing
violin,
is, the thing is, Wataru and the violin are both the product of the promise that was imbued
yeah,
into the violin between
because
Otoya and the
Was
teacher.
the way that Maya was holding that violin.
Yeah,
Like
it's
she
like
was
she's
just like
cradling a child.
caressing, yeah, she was caressing it like a child. It would have been more so. There was a part where she had like jumped off of the second story and fell down onto the just whatever. And the violin is not. She's no longer caressing it. It's now like right here in her abdomen area.
Mhm.
Like she's holding and caressing the violin like if it's actually a child. Which
Yeah,
I was like, yeah, this is the violin is her baby.
yeah,
It's not a physical child yet, but it's the metaphor that there will be a child.
yeah. While Yuri
But
frivolously uses the Ixanakle.
yeah, again watching it with friends, and they're like, yeah, like they kind of jokingly said, yeah, when the two of them kind of fell off of the second story, like about right, and she turns into Ixa. I'm like, yeah, I kind of thought they were gonna land outside in the front lawn because isn't that how all these Japanese shows are? Like they jump, they jump off of the second story of a house, and next thing you know, they're outside. I'm like, were
In the
you not?
quarry.
Yeah. Or you're in a parking garage. You were in a house. What the fuck are you doing? And I'm like,
Actually,
oh
it does
my
make me
god.
wonder how do they transition to a parking garage? Like,
Yeah, I
and
was
they're like,
like,
hey, hold on, let's take this to
yeah,
the garage, and then they just like peacefully like walk downstairs to the garage. Okay, we're in the garage. Fighting sets.
yeah, no, because it was just like, oh my god. Because I went back and I watched. I'm like, it would have made it. I wouldn't have questioned it if they did. I would have been like, they both fell off that establishing scene where they're like, boom, like angle side of them falling and then fighting. And I'm like, no, they're still in the house, only for Maya to knock Yuri through the door. And I'm like,
There's the
oh,
transition.
yeah, there's the transition outside. But then I was like, that's not their backyard.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's like angles, composition, whatever. I'm like, fine, cool, whatever. And yeah, no, that's what wound up happening. And I was like, oh, okay, all right.
Oh man,
And
I miss watching these shows with friends.
yeah, no, well, again, it's because even though I said Kiva's not technically a vampire, it's more like it's vampire themed. He's not a
Yeah.
vampire, but these young little children of the night, just say and anything that looks like that belongs in Hot Topic, they just want to get all into it. I'm like,
Yeah.
It's not vampires. It's not. But he looks
Yeah.
like one. Oh, it's not. It's not. He's
So
actually
they
very
put their
shy.
so they put their differences aside and like they try to go save Otoya and yeah, there's even this weird scene with a silk moth Fangire who is almost
Can I
identical to
also?
the original, except it's her like antennae are downward. We still
Yeah.
got the hummingbirds, like we're getting that
Yeah.
out of the way.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
like, oh,
like
Queen, you're
rid,
not able to turn into a Fangire here. I'm like, how?
rid, rid,
Why?
Yeah, yeah. Like, why? How? Like,
Yeah.
what? So you're telling me you're more powerful than the queen, that you can stop her from going back to her original form? Uh, why aren't you the queen?
Yeah.
Why are
But
you not? You can trump the queen?
hey, she got closer than the board dude did.
I guess so. I'm like, wow, really? But also,
But yeah,
can we
Queen just
mention
like
like your
instantly reseals her into
yeah.
that tomb. Yeah,
Just like boom, and just like get
boom, like
out my way, bitch.
out of my way.
And I'm like, can we go also with Yuri looking like John Rambo?
Yeah, she went full John Rambo.
She full like, oh Yuri,
Yeah,
oh
yeah, and
Yuri.
it's like, and of course, like Otoya is getting tortured by King. It's like Any last request?
Mhm.
Can I play the song Aro Maya? And he surprisingly agrees. So
Yeah,
it's
no,
like,
King is. I'm like generic villain, just like, oh, okay, you're torturing the guy instead of killing him. I mean,
yeah.
but you're not
So
killing him enough.
so it's like so he starts playing that song.
Mhm.
And it's like and then like Maya just like stops here. She's like, shh, do you hear that? I can hear Otoya's music. Really? I can't hear anything. And that's why he left you for me.
And I mean,
I swear that's
yeah,
what I was like thinking, like in that scene where it's like where like Yuri said like she can't hear a thing. It's like, yeah, that's why he left you for me, because you don't get a toy like I do.
I don't think anyone gets Otoya,
Like she
honestly.
does.
Well, she does. Well, she says she does, but I'm like, bitch, look at you afterwards. Look at what he. Technically, it's all this happened because of Otoya.
He
So
opened Pandora's box.
yeah.
But
So
it's
what?
I
So as they say, I don't think the juice was worth the squeeze in this case.
Mhm.
You know.
But they do manage to stop the king from ruining the dinner show. Like he had a glass of wine, like so, but they did manage to stop him. The two of them run. Well, Otoya and Yuri run off while Maya tries to hold them back, and of course, Otoya quickly dispatches with the Silk Moth Fangire using the
Mm,
Ixanakul. Like, oh, by the way, she does use Kamen Rider Arc's Trident that was repurposed. You know, I know someone out there is
I
going to be really
thought
anxious.
that looked familiar.
Yeah.
I was
But the
like,
thing
wait,
is, like, Arc barely uses his Trident enough for us to even notice it on our first watch. So he didn't go out of your way to, like, figure out if you could,
establish.
like, if you didn't go out of your way to, like, see if, like, the hummingbirds are still on her shoulders, you probably would not have noticed.
Well, because the first moth was so BS, I was like, well, we got to give a redemption somehow. So,
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. And that's pretty much it for the 86 side. So
mm-hmm.
are you ready
Now
for
here we go. It's Buffy and Dawson's Creek all over again.
okay.
Which that's what one of my friends told me. It's like if Dawson's Creek and Buffy had a crossover.
Yeah.
And I'm
Okay.
like, mm,
Let's try to get this done as quickly as possible because
yeesh.
I don't want to linger on this too much. Mio's a bitch, and now she's gone.
Yeah.
That's it. End of story. We're done. What score did you get?
Praise be. And I'm
Okay.
like, I know. Again, don't want to skip too far ahead, But when that happened, okay, especially with everything that we all both know, what she's been doing, again, I thought we were reliving 86 all over again because there's a scene where a lady Fangire is being chased and gets cornered.
Uh, oh yeah. And like you think
Only
it's Maya,
and
but
you
it's
think it's
you thought I
Maya.
was Maya, but it's
And then she
actually
just like
me,
no, but
Mio.
yeah, but the thing was, I was like, that's not Maya because again, Maya's hair and Mio's hair are cut differently, and you could totally see Mio's like long bangs, like like the whole like bangs, but then the long bangs, like just coming through the robe, and I was like, oh, no, don't you dare, Mio, no, and it's just like, and she's like, oh,
The night has come for you.
yeah, just like, and I'm like, oh, just because your side guy now is actually a Fangar, well, half of one, you're like, you can now
Go full
kill.
force.
Yeah, bullshit, Mio. Bullshit. I'm like, so when he was human and your job was to do that, you didn't do it. But now it's like,
But now that
well,
you know that your side
now,
piece is a Fangire, it's like there's nothing
yeah,
keeping me
yeah,
attached to humanity.
yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, but no, fuck that, fuck the half. The half doesn't mean anything. That like, as long as you're a Fangire, we're good. I'm like, no, honey, he
Yep.
ain't 100%. This coffee's got cream in it.
Yeah, this reminds me of an interesting cultural thing where it's like if your mom is Jewish, you're 100% Jewish, even if your dad's not Jewish. But if your dad is Muslim, then you're 100% Muslim, even if your mom isn't Muslim.
How does
So
that
if you,
work?
I don't look in the Torah, if your mom's Jewish, you're 100% Jewish. In the Quran, if your dad is 100% Muslim, you're 100% Muslim. So it makes me wonder, like, if you have a Muslim dad and a Jewish mom, what
Well,
are
who
you
wins
like?
there?
Like,
Yeah,
are you like
no, 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 no,
100%
no, 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 no,
Jewish?
no,
Are
no.
you 100% Muslim?
Let us not go there. Let us not go there. I mean, I
Are you
get where you're coming from, and
are
that
you
is a very
200% of something?
I totally get where you're trying to get at, and that is actually a very interesting question. Talk to your rabbis, talk to your
A
holy men
mom.
about that.
Yeah.
But with current things as they are, I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, like no,
no,
like
no, no, no,
I
no,
just
no,
want to
no.
like I was just really curious about the whole like Fangire thing because it's like
I
because
want to just
and that whole situation made me think about that robot chicken skinner. It's like Perseus, you're well built, but it won't be enough to defeat Medusa. So I'll give you a shield that can defend against any sword, and a sword that can penetrate any shield. But don't get it too close to your shield, though. I don't know which one trumps the other. You know what? Screw it. And monster truck.
yeah, no, that yeesh, I don't know. That I don't get and I don't understand. I don't wish to know because I'm like, well, more so with Wataru, I say is just this. He's half, okay? He's
Yeah,
half. He's think of it as a demigod. Okay,
yeah.
not a god, but can do amazing things,
Yeah.
okay?
You know,
But not
It would be nice if, much like in Superman and Tokyo Ghoul, they would establish that somehow being half human, half Fangire would make him more powerful than a full Fangire.
well, technically it does,
I mean,
doesn't
yeah,
it? I mean, think about it. Technically it does because again, well, we know, but it's kind of like what will come in these next episodes that we'll review in the following weeks because technically it was kind of unthinkable that a half breed would be able to reach that level,
yeah.
you know.
So what's it called? So Wataru's like sulking. No one wants to see him. Well. Everyone wants to see him, but he doesn't want to see anyone. And
Yeah,
like
what to do?
and one of the first people to see him is freaking
Uh,
Mio. And you know what she
yeah.
says to him? So when are you gonna kill Taiga?
Again, a repeat of last week because she's like, oh, because you're half, but you have to kill your brother so we could be together. And I'm like, and now you don't see him. He's sulking because he found out his mom is alive. His best friend is his brother.
his
and
brother wants to get married to his girlfriend, and his girlfriend
trying to kill you this whole time. It's a very confusing boy. It's like, so when are you gonna kill him? When are we gonna? I'm
like I'm gonna be honest.
You are so me.
I watched that clip that you told me about. Like you were with me watching the clip with me.
Oh
and, yeah. And I have to say that clip was more straightforward than this.
That analogy really worked, didn't it? Like, did it not? Like, it was like, yeah, guys, cut your losses. Literally with this chick, I'm like, what? I don't even know what she's
like
doing.
That clip that you showed me was less convoluted than what's happening here with Mio.
Yeah, which I'm like, either or, it's gonna end up the same way. But you guys are literally killing each other to the point that she's kind of like, I will love the winner, but I am secretly trying to sabotage one, but also manipulate the other. Like it's a manipulation tactic, pretty much. Like if it wasn't the fact that she had stated who she wanted to be with, okay, but it's kind of like, then why are you even like
following
talking
through?
Yeah, why are you following through with Taiga? Why are you like?
There's even a scene where she's in a flower shop with him.
Yeah. Oh my god, that
I'd like to buy a dozen red roses. Oh, hey, Taiga, I didn't see you there. It's like, that is me. You're my favorite customer.
All white. She's wearing all white. He's wearing his white jacket, and then they have this whole thing, and it's just like he wants to buy up all the flowers in the flower shop. And it's just like, did you not just have a scene where you asked Wataru to kill him, and now you're in the flowers? Like, oh, are you gonna like properly propose to me?
Yeah. Meanwhile, what's his name? The boss. He's just like, yeah. Turns out he was testing Kengo to see if he's cut out for Aozora, and turns out he's not. And like Kengo overhears it, and interestingly enough, he doesn't take it out on Nago. Instead, the two of them apologize to Wataru together just to get him out of the house.
Okay, Nago, I get, because it was his job and he didn't want to do it. He was like, no, I don't want to do it because I know Wataru. I've gotten to know him, and he's a good boy. Kengo, I don't get you at all, because it's like you were friends and now you're not, and then you're like, oh, and then you go off to Aozora, and now you're like, oh, fuck Kiva, fuck Wataru, blah, blah. And now it's like Wataru literally says to Kengo that he apologizes, and like, what? And I'm like, what are you apologizing for? This dick over here has to apologize. What the fuck? Like, Wataru, you were literally his friend, and he was like, no, I have to do my duty. I have to do blah blah blah. I have to, and I was like, no, Kengo should be the one who should be down on his knees saying, I'm sorry, Wataru. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm like, nope, didn't happen.
Yeah, like this kind of reminds me of like this one very specific it reminds me of this like one very specific thing that bothered me about Kamen Rider Dragon Knight. Like this one tiny nitpick. I wish Maya from Dragon Knight was more broken up about Chris Ramirez dying, because she's the one that pushed him to join the good guys. She's the one who kept trying to encourage him and convince him that like Kid and Len were the good guys, and like he sacrificed himself to save the two of them. So I'm like, Maya, why are you not more broken up about this? Because his blood is partly on your hands.
Yeah, no, but she doesn't care. She really doesn't. But again,
no, she does care. It's just like they could have done a better job, like showing it. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but again, my Mio is just.
I'm talking about a different show here. I'm talking about Dragon Knight. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But just like comparing the two, I'm like, I have no comparison, honestly, with Mio.
Yeah.
It's just like she is just manipulative as all hell, and just Just
Yeah.
I don't get it. I really don't. And at this point, like, the actress is a wonderful, beautiful person. Not I'm not
Absolutely.
as we review these shows, we are talking about the characters, not the actors. Okay, we are simply
Yeah,
saying like the act.
when I first watched Decade and Mio came back, I was like confused. Why is Mio a villain here?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
like
but it's like
rewatching it again, I'm like, yeah, no, I totally see it. Like she was like the villain the whole time. Honestly, like at this point, Mio should have been the main villain. I'm just gonna say right now,
yeah,
she
yeah.
should be like
She
the
should have
main
been.
villain,
She should have
not
been, but
not Taiga, not Bishop, not the King.
it should have been Mia. Yeah.
It should have been Mio.
But yeah, I was this whole thing in '08, especially with the director of Blue Sky,
Oh yeah, Shima. Yeah, turns out he was playing everybody.
that kind of came out of nowhere because I was like,
Yeah,
we were focusing,
he was
and
even
then
playing Wataru too.
we go back to, like, he's having dinner with Taiga, and next thing you know, he gets attacked, or he got attacked by Taiga.
Yeah,
And now he's like, he gets attacked again because he's at the grave of both Yuri
yeah,
and her mother.
yeah.
And just like this
But we are
Fangire
not
shows up.
mentioning the Sea Moon Fangires because it turns into
He,
a giant thing. We defeat it using giant Sagark and Kiva Emperor. Watcher declares, I don't want to be a Fangire. I don't want to be human. I just want to be me. I want to be the bridge between two peoples. I want to be Superman. And like, I get it. But yeah, like moving on to the grave thing, like, yeah, he's like, by the way, how did Yuri die exactly? Because
we haven't gotten there yet.
yeah,
We haven't gotten there yet.
Because it's like Megumi, the way she always talks about Rook, it always gave me the impression that Rook killed her, just like how he killed Yuri's mom. But
It
like,
makes it seem like it, but even I was like, first time watching it, I was kind of confused until later on it does. Like,
yeah.
oh, then why? Why are we, like, but again, we get there when we get there. But yeah, so apparently like the director gets really hurt to the point that he like is needing medical care. Like, he got his ass kicked really bad. He got his ass kicked really bad to the point that Wataru tells Taiga to, like, oh, please save him, please, like. And what the hell are you giving the director to the bad guy, knowing what he would do to him? I'm like,
and like that Taiga's be like, is that a bargain? I hear.
yeah.
You want a bargain? You want a bargain, Wataru? You want me to save Shima? You want a bargain?
And technically he did, because it's like out of nowhere, director Shima just disappears from the hospital. Megumi and Nago are just like, what the hell? And he shows up to the cafe again and does his whole shtick about body fat percentage. And he's like, oh, mine's at 0.2. And I'm like,
Bruce Lee was at 3%, just for reference.
Here's the thing, is that what people don't understand is that the human body, if you're at 0.2, that means your brain is the most fattiest muscle in your body.
But it does contain the most amount of fat by that point.
Yeah. So if you're at 0.2, you're pretty much a corpse at that point. I'm surprised you're even functioning.
Yeah, no, seriously, like I said, like just to give you reference, Bruce Lee was 3% body fat.
And it is possible. It is possible to get down that, but it's not really recommended by doctors and physicians to be below.
Because keep in mind, your body needs fat as a long-term form of fat. Like when your body functions as it does 24/7, because you're always pumping blood, you're always using electrical synapses.
Mm-hmm.
You need ATP for chemical energy. You obtain ATP by breaking down macromolecules. The easiest to break is glucose, which turns into pyrite and whatnot. But the thing is, pyruvate. So it's like, yeah, you burn sugar first, then you burn protein. then you burn
Then you
fat.
burn
Fat is
Fat is the
long term.
reserves.
Yeah, like even in actual health science, like if you want to burn a lot of fat, you need to do cardio workouts with like a low, well, not low, but like a lower heart rate. Like you're not supposed to get your heart rate up to like 180 or whatever. Like no, like for someone like me, for example, my heart rate needs to be at like 133 in order to burn fat. And also you have to keep maintaining that heart rate for an extended period of time, because lower heart rate, you burn fat. Higher heart rate, you burn sugar. Somewhere in the middle, you burn protein.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the fact that you don't have any fat, keto dieting is when you deprive yourself of glucose, so to force your body to use fat as a nutrient source. And of course, that's why you also have to eat a lot of fatty foods instead of carbs. But yeah, 0.2%. That's insane. Like no, that's insane.
But he's getting it all back because he's eating like
A lot of carbs.
So yeah, like a tapeworm or something. I'm like, well,
it's like he's eating omurice for 5.
Yeah, but it turns out he is turning into a Fangire.
Yeah, more specifically, Sungazer Fangire. So, in case you're wondering, Sungazer Fangire is a reptile, more specifically a bearded lizard. It uses retooled parts from the tortoise Fangire, and its bird motif, I'm trying to remember. Oh yeah, it's 3 seagulls, one facing forward on its head, and the other 2 forming sort of like a mustache a little bit.
I didn't really notice that because I was just like, oh, it's another turtle.
Yeah. Lizard, actually. But they're both reptile class.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is based on the turtle one. So yeah. Yeah, Shima's like turning into a Fangire. They don't know it's Shima at first, but then he low-key reveals it's like, Wataru, this is your final test. I need you to promise me if I go berserk, I need you to kill me. And of course he does. In a playground. Meanwhile,
but he doesn't kill. But he doesn't kill the director though.
No,
because which again, I'm like, I thought you do. But no, he's the main character, so he's got plot convenience.
Yeah. So while all this is happening, Neo and Taiga are finally getting hitched. At least we think they would.
Oh boy.
It's like you may kiss the bride, and as Taiga moves in to kiss her.
Okay, was that because again they asked me this? Was she handcuffed, or did she have her hands bound?
They both were supposed to have their hands bound.
Like
the chain, because like the chain's supposed to represent
their
eternal tied to each other. The thing is, it's like in most weddings, it's like you tie your hands to each other, not to themselves. So like both of your hands are like out there together, and like you have to like drink something. It depends on like what kind of wedding you have, because like there's like different wedding things, and there's some overlaps and some non-overlaps. The only thing I know is that in Jewish weddings you break what's it called, the glass. Wine glass. Yeah. I hate that in particular because it's glass, you know, like, yeah, like that's, it is what it is, you know. You don't get to choose your family, but yeah, so
Mio stabs Taiga, like literally.
Yeah, Mia with her, to quote Bon Jovi, blood red nails on the fingertips. A schoolboy's dream. You act
straight
so
up,
shy.
Straight up.
Very first kiss was
Fangire claws right into him, and he's like just bleeding blue blood. Just
Okay. Which makes me wonder: did Wataru ever bleed?
He's been bleeding just normal human blood, so technically it's like he is a Fangire, but not really. So
so like that was a nice red herring. And of course Bishop intervenes like, hey, you try to kill the king. It's like, no, she didn't. I fell downstairs. But I saw you. I saw her
Even
stab
if
you.
so, even so, I'm like, he saw it, but it's like you're the king. He's got to respect what you're saying to him.
And
Either
let's
that
see
he
how
doesn't
far that
care.
respect goes.
Yeah, we'll see how far it goes. But yeah, it just keeps this roller coaster is just the man. What a ride! Because again, after all that happens, we get the whole thing with Nago and Megumi trying to like sort things out and wonder how like Wataru's kind of like what's going on, like why did the director turn, like what's going on, and then they have a fight, they have another fight, only for it to be again at the cliffside where the two graves are, and and Megumi just shows up again, or Neo. I
Yeah.
don't know why you showed up. I really don't. Like for story reasons, I'm like, um, it's really like, wait,
Yeah,
why?
and
What?
yeah,
Why are
yeah,
you
like
here?
freaking Nago tries to fight Shima, but he hesitates. It's like, and this is why you're a failure. And Wataru tries to fulfill his promise to kill Shima, but of course he's not able to. And of course, Bleeding Taiga makes it all the way to the cliffside. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, Daddy, I love you, but you gotta go. And, like, let's be honest. Like, Shima may not be Taiga's father, but he is his daddy, or at least the closest
Yeah,
thing he ever had to a daddy,
yeah,
which
yeah.
isn't saying much. But of course, when he kills Shima, Wataru snaps and turns into Kiva Emperor form. The two
Mm-hmm.
brothers fight it out again. And of
Yep.
course, this time, because Taiga's bleeding out, he has a disadvantage. And right when he uses his finisher, like his wake up fever, freaking Mio-san remembers, I tried to kill Taiga, and he
You've been
still forgave
saying,
me.
you've been asking Wataru to kill him
And now
two or
he's
three times,
about to
and
do
he's
the thing
about
you
to do
asked
it.
him to do.
And I'm guessing, as as my audience kind of like looked at it, because we kind of dissected it, it's like maybe she had regret about what she did to him. It's like it would be something if he was 100% and lost, as opposed to being like handicapped. But it's like, no, even if he wasn't, I'm pretty sure this still would have happened, where she's just like, no, please stop. And I'm like, yeah, pass me an angry orchard, please. I'm like, why? Because I'm gonna have me a toast right now, because he winds, and not the actress, not Mio, but Fangire Mio, the oyster, winds up getting the full frontal attack of the Kiva Emperor Fever,
Yeah,
and gets like just jettisoned from
off the
the
cliff.
cliffside. Yeah, off the cliff. Just like she got the full frontal hit of it, and it's just like Wataru kind of came out of the Kiva form while he was doing the rider kick, or it was
Yeah.
like what it seemed like it. And
No,
I'm
his
like,
face was just hyperimposed.
yeah. But then he
Mio, Wataru, Mio, Wataru, Mio,
donkey.
Wataru, Taiga.
But it's like, yeah, so it's kind of like he goes down to the cliffside or down to the beach, which is a very nice beach, and it's
Yeah.
just like she's just laying there, like no blood, no nothing. She's just laying there, and I'm like, oh, please tell me you're dead. Just please. If you get up,
I do find it interesting how his love for Mio is what gave him his emperor form,
yeah,
and then ironically,
that
it's
is what
because of
killed it.
her betrayal that she ended up getting killed by
The
emperor
emperor
form.
form. Yeah,
I don't know if
which
this was
is
intentional irony on the side of the writers,
it's very Shakespearean.
or
Very
or is
Shakespearean.
or is it an apophenic happenstance? You
Yeah.
decide.
Yeah.
Press A, B, or none of the above.
But it's so weird that like this ring that Mio had, like this two,
Wataru
like,
got her.
yeah, that Wataru got her, and then it's like da, 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 like they show the scene of where they were supposedly gonna get married, and I'm like, You know what?
You
I would
barely
feel
know the girl.
I would feel bad. In these types of scenes, I would feel bad because it's just like, she's a victim of circumstance, or you know what, like she didn't want this to happen. She wanted to be with him, like, be as it may. No, Mio, all this was Mio's fault. All this, she could have just walked away and just been like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not. If I must die, I will die, but I'm not betrothed. I'm not gonna get married. Take away my rank, whatever. But she constantly manipulated everything that happened. And it kind of all just caught up with her. And it's just like, bitch, you don't deserve a happy ending flashback. Or like the
You are
supposed,
my rose, you are my rose, you are my
you don't
rose.
deserve the happy ending. What supposedly could have been like thought. No. What you deserve is to be put in a stew with the rest of the clams. And just there you go. And she just turns into glass and finally shatters. And I was just like, I'm waiting. And then episode done. It's over. I'm like, so no dramatic scream from Wataru, and I kind of cheated a bit.
The one time, well,
So
technically there was a dramatic scream from Wataru, just not for her.
yeah, but even so, I kind of went a little forward in the next episode just to see if he did.
And he does.
And he doesn't. He's just there like shocked. He's there like, did this really happen? This totally happened, man. And I could not think of a character that was not more worthy of getting it. And that's where we are with this. Mio is finally gone. The queen is dead.
The thing I hate about this is
So
as
grab your
much of an
chalices. Cheers. God
as
save the
mu-
queen.
as much as an asshole as Bishop is, I hate to admit it, he was right.
He was right. He was
He was
totally right. He was totally right. I'm like, you know what? Me as he may. I mean, he's creepy, he's whatever, but he was right. He was totally right. And it's just
it's like I would have never wanted to admit to this in the last 18 years of this show. Wait, was it 18? No, wait, 16 years. Wait, no. Hold on. No, wait, 12 years. No, wait, no. No, wait, 17 years. Wait, hold on. How many years was it since 2008? I feel so stupid right now. 16 years, yeah. In the last 16 years, I would never have imagined I would say this. And I would not have imagined I would say it for another 108 years, but Bishop was right. Mio is the worst.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. As I said in the last review, Maya, people might dislike Maya for who she is and what, but the girl walks, talks, and has her head held up high. She knows what she's doing. She knows what she's saying. It might be confusing. What men or women are not confusing. But she does not play games. It's who she is. It's what she is. She's a straight shooter. Mio is all over the damn place. Mio was kind of like, this is why if people don't like Maya, they don't like Maya because this is what if Maya was the worst. Where Maya was the standard, Mio was like, this is what Maya would have been or could have been.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. I mean, be as it may, Mio was just, again, a victim of circumstance, but she had victim syndrome where she herself was like, oh, boo-hoo, poor me, like, da-da-da, and everything, but you should totally do this to, like, make it all better. And then, and blah, blah. You would never hear Maya say that. You would never hear, like any of the women.
Maya's the kind of person that embraces her fate.
Mm-hmm.
Like she even embraced the fact that like
Maya's
I'm going to lose my powers. I'm going to lose my eye.
She's not afraid to die. Mio is terrified of her own shadow. That's pretty much the sum of it all. Mio is a coward. Mio is just that, and then she died a coward's death because it's like supposedly she has a good heart, and it finally just ate her away. That look what happened. So.
All right. So what score would you give the Hyper Battle video and these 3 episodes?
Do we need to score the hyper?
Yes.
The hyper battle, I guess, would be. I guess it's a 6. I mean, it's not official. It's just kind of there.
Mhm.
Which, if you ever wondered why the wiki has the Emperor Dogambashi form, but we never see it in the show, where that's where it came from, was
Yeah.
from the hyper battle.
Yeah.
Um, these 3 episodes, in and of itself, um, I would say it's like a 7.5 or an 8, because I
Mhm.
feel again everything that the 86 part has more drama and story, where this is just kind of wrapping up the drama that is going on, and the fact that Mio is now gone because of her own hand. I'm like, okay, that's why it kind
Mhm.
of ranks up more of an 8 for me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would say episode 41 was more of a 7 for me, just because it's like it's more just like pining, and Mio just being the worst. It's like, why haven't you killed your brother yet? I thought you're going to kill him.
I thought you
You
loved
become
me.
yeah,
Do you want happy wife, happy life, and I want your brother dead, so you have to do it. Like,
yeah. It's
bitch, I
like
haven't even given you the ring yet, and you're asking me to
yeah,
do
it's
this.
like yeah, we got Kango and Water reconciling, but I feel like this is not the episode where they should have done that.
No.
Like,
And not to mention, like, kind of doesn't even feel like it's proper. Like, it
yeah,
really feels like they kind of just shoehorned in that, because now
yeah.
Kengo is not he got kicked out of
It's not
Ozora.
completely, yeah, but
Yeah.
like still, it's like, and like, but yeah, you're right. Nago should have been like lowered his head even lower than Kango, because it's like, because Daddy, Daddy Nago,
Mhm. Yeah.
but yeah, 42 was, I would give it like I, I would give it an 8, because honestly I cared more about the 86 stuff, but it is
Yeah.
interesting to like have that plot twist that, oh, Shima is now a Fangire, how he's going to deal with becoming the very thing he had sworn to destroy. But
Mm.
it's like I am torn on how to feel about episode 43. It's either a 10 or an 8, because it's either an 8 because I'm still annoyed by the pining from the 2008 side, or I should be celebrating because Mio's finally over and done with. So I'm going to give it a 9, because at least we still had that scene where like Maya and Otoya are connected. Like that's the part that
Mhm.
keeps me going.
Yeah, because it's like, how do you make a baby?
Yeah.
Like, how? How do you bring Wataru into this story? That's what's keeping
Well,
me
I
like. Well, that's
imagine
what
she
keeps a
would
lot of people.
stay in her human form.
Well, no, that's kind of the thing that a lot of people is like. No, they kind of get what that goes on, but it's just like, how did that all happen? Especially with your relationship with Yuri. That Yuri is like, again, Yuri is best girl. Yuri is like just doing everything she can to keep things afloat. And God knows where Otoya got this bullshit like
Riz.
idea. Yeah, I have no idea. I really don't. But even watching it many times, like, where did this all come up? But you know,
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that's what it's day of our lives.
Yeah. So before we go into our comments, and boy, we do have quite a number of these. We did finally finish the second arc. We're only 5 episodes left. What boy, what a great place to finish the second arc.
And
Um,
this one was a
what?
long one. This one
Yeah,
really was like, damn.
it's
Just,
like it's only 21 episodes, which
but it
is
was
3 less than the
longer
previous
than.
one, but it
Yeah,
felt longer.
it felt longer just because of all the drama that was going
Yeah.
on. So
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to ask you, what score would you give to the arc as a whole, from episodes 25 to 43 as an entire thing?
it's an 8. It
Yeah,
really is, because it's just like, again, like, just the story of 86 kind of keeps consistent
yeah,
of, like, like with Yuri and Otoya, and then the introduction of Maya and the King and Bishop and Rook and all of them. It's like it keeps consistent. Where '08 is just like, we get, apparently, well, Shizuka is not so much in these episodes as much. Kind of like trailed off, you know. Wataru and Mio start, go, and it's just like just full on drama. Kengo went from a goofball to a serious motherfucker who had no idea where that came from. Nago had a little existential crisis, which thankfully he kind of overcame
very quickly.
But and it's just like, the whole thing with Yuri and Megumi and Isa, it was like it seemed like there was more, like you're watching the 86 and you're cruising by while finally you get to '08 and everything's like, okay, take notes, will this be on the test? Or it's like you went on the straight road, now you're going up the mountainside with all those curves and all everything. That's what '08 was. Because it was just like, we have all these characters focusing. We have only Otoya Yuri, the director, and even the cafe owner, Jiro. So we have 5. Now, add in everyone else that's in '08, where that's a majority of the cast. It's like, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what I say. It's an 8. Because while it gives 86 is like straightforward and whatnot, we get the backstory of Castle Dora and everything. It's like the '08. That's the one that's kind of like, you really need to pay attention. Need to pay attention because '08, 86, smooth ride, smooth sailing. But when you're in '08, it's like, wait, what? And especially when they stop doing the transactions. From like 86 to '08, it's like, wait, where are we? Like,
one thing I really miss about Kiva, like from the first arc, is the part where Kiva would actually give us like music history notes at the beginning of every episode. But like after episode 28, maybe 31,
they start just recapping the episode.
He's just recapping. He and Tatsula are just recapping.
Yeah, that's kind of like, again, a lot of people thought that was really cute that the henshin device was like explaining stuff to us. I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah. Now it's just recapping. Like, where's the narrator? There is no narrator. It's the belt. Okay.
Yeah, like Krimbelstein.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I have to agree with you because in the first arc, there's a lot of interweaving between the two storylines. It's like you have to figure out like how these two parallel each other, like how events from 86 connect to 2008, and
there's simpler times.
Yeah, it was like a lot of mystery for us to follow through on. It was a fun ride, but like now it's like things got a lot messier, and like, I mean, to be fair, things got messier on both sides. It's just that '08 got messy to the point where that 86 does not feel as messy in comparison. It's like try to compare 2 rooms where like one room it's like, oh, you have an unkempt bed and you have some books on the floor, while in the other room you have like trash bags with like food from 3 weeks ago. It's like in a vacuum, the room with the unkempt bed might seem messy to you, but once you get used to seeing the one with the trash bags, and then you look at the one where it's like, you just did not make your bed today and you have some books on the floor. It's like, wow, this is very clean in comparison. And so like that's what it's like. It's like, and the thing is like, the 86 stuff is much more interesting to watch because we do see Otoya develop as a character. Wataru doesn't really develop much as a character other than like, and in some cases he just regresses. Like, how many times did he went into reclusion again?
Yeah, it's we see the growth with Yuri and Otoya as characters more than we do their children. I
Yeah.
mean, I love these characters. I love Wataru. I love Megumi, but we know very little of anything to them other than what their parents established,
Yeah,
and that's where and
even I would
that's
even say Megumi had fewer episodes, but is more established as a character than Wataru is.
well, yeah, no. Megumi is Megumi, and but
Mhm.
she's still her mom. It's like if Yuri was
Yeah,
now, like in '08, but
yeah,
more so with the she's got the stomach of a bottomless hole, you know, and just
yeah,
how like Valley Girl and pop and like how pop she is. But
yeah,
again, Wataru, see, that's the thing. That's why I say I'm like when Shizuka is around Wataru, there's a bit more development, or a bit more like of his character that comes out naturally. Whereas now, just him by himself, he just kind of regresses and just hides. I'm like, wait, what
yeah,
happened to Shizuka? What happened? What happened to her? It's like we couldn't write her into this story, apparently.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, as creepy as some of those Debbie Gallagher moments were, it's like it's
Mm,
still more than what we got with Wataru and even
yeah,
Kengo, because
Kengo was just some rock star
yeah, it's like
idiot, and it just
I
there,
still
and then
I still stand by what I said. It would have been a lot more interesting if like Kengo was king, or like he didn't even
yeah.
know that he was king, just like
Yeah.
how Mio did not know that
For those who don't know what we're
she was
talking about, please go back to our past
previous episode. Yeah,
episode of how we
yeah,
kind of would fix this whole
yeah,
story, because
yeah.
as
Because
we
then
said, Taiga kind of feels unnecessary. Like it should have, if it. I mean, it's like why? But again, go back to that episode, because that we don't want to go on a rant again.
yeah, and like Taiga, he's simping.
Taiga is just there. He's
Yeah,
just there, which it's so bad. It's so horrible. It's like such wasted opportunity. Like
yeah.
could have been great, but no.
Mhm. Yeah, and yeah, like freaking and like if Kengo was king, we have more reason for him to be aggressive towards Wataru in this arc. And even when he goes all SA on Mio, it would have made more sense because it's like because at first he did have a crush on Mio, but she rejected him for Wataru.
Mhm.
And like he's like, you know what, you're my best friend, so I'm just gonna have to swallow my pride. But then it's like, and then you now my best friend not only took the girl I like, but also he took my role model from me too. But it's like now
Yeah.
I'm king. I have the power. I'm entitled to stuff. So now it's like if he's like he could like try to get back with me. It's like now you have to date me because we are betrothed.
Yeah.
And that would make more sense. But like
Yeah, I know. I know.
yeah.
I'm there with you. I'm there with
So
you.
so that's why like for the arc, I'm gonna have to give it a an 8 as well. It had good moments, but not enough. Like 86 stuff was good. Oh 08, not so much. I don't remember if I did the Hyper Battle video score. I give it a 9 because one, exercise works. Like it really does get your heart rate up. And two, we are introducing a new format to do HBVs, and they took advantage of that format change for the creative. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
harder for us to keep track of it because because of the format. But looking at it from the perspective of someone who has the official DVD, yeah, no, this is a this is a cool new idea back then. So I respect it. Just maybe not make it obvious that the audience character is male because there are female Kamen Rider fans too, and I'm glad that
Yeah.
now there's reciprocity in that by making the
To our
second
lady
writer
friends, to our lady
female.
fans, please
Yeah,
show us love, show
yeah,
us you're out there, to
yeah,
prove that Kamen Rider should appeal to not only the males but to their female fans as well.
yeah. No, not all we need now is for Boom Boomger to have a female Sixth Ranger, and then
We haven't had one since Go Under.
yep,
Officially. I'm
officially
not
as it
Shinkenger.
as it is right as it no extra hero doesn't count.
Yeah, extra hero doesn't count, and that's
Yeah.
what Shinkenger has is an
Yep.
extra
So
hero.
as it is right now, Power Rangers has more female Sixth Rangers than Sentai does. I consider Fern to be a sixth ranger. Like the way she came on,
I'm gonna have to
yeah,
look into that.
yeah.
I'll let you know next week.
Okay.
All right. So, what do our people have to say? Because
All
apparently, you
right.
said there's a lot.
Triple OXYZ says, "Thank God she's finally gone. I hate Mio at this point." Preach.
Preach. I know. It's so
When she
it's so
died,
it's so relieving. It's so really was it not? I was like, everyone's like, no, and I'm like, yes.
yeah, like the first time I saw it, I was sad. The second
Oh
time,
yeah.
confused.
Second time, it's just
Now
like
I'm angry.
you can forgive a first time watch, and you're like, oh Mio, but then afterwards you're like, bitch,
Yeah.
please.
When she died, I did shed a tear. Not for her, but because I feel bad for Wataru.
You know,
Think of it this way. Think of it this
Wataru.
way.
If Wataru had not a Nago's like attitude or like just any of his backbone, I'm pretty sure Wataru wouldn't like he would be upset, yes. But I don't like it's kind of like you can't look at everything that happened.
I just realized if Nago had a theme song, it would go like this: "Wataru's mom has got it going on." I'm just kidding.
Yeah, man, that's
Okay.
literally what I say with me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, and Taiga lost his dad, not his father, but his dad. Not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that old thing. He may have been your father, but he wasn't your daddy.
Yeah. Shima was the closest thing he did have to a dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, good. Because again, it kind of goes with that whole like, the upper class, or like even in the back of royalty. It's like they just had kids because they had to. They had to continue the bloodline. They had to continue the whatever. And it's like
whatever Alabama thing necessary.
Yeah, and it's just like, do they, it's kind of like, oh, they care more about their nannies and their butlers because they were their parents, not their actual parents. It's like, well, you must respect your father.
Yeah, like the Pronghorn fan guy, or like he wept for his butler. Like
yeah.
He wept for his butler.
Yeah, it's like, how many people? Like, is it so weird? Is it so weird that children have more connection with their nannies or than they? I mean, I get it, but it's like if you don't have a healthy relationship with your children, they're gonna go to their
there was even a joke from My Name Is Earl where they had to go to like one of those snooty suburbs because witness protection, and like one of the snooty moms is like, my kids call our nanny Spanish mom.
Yeah. But that's the thing. So it was a heart-wrenching family drama at this point.
Yeah, for real, Mio is the second worst part of this arc. Kango is bad, but he isn't spicy enough to be the second worst.
I don't think anyone can take the first place spot of worst from Mio. Like, I don't like Mio is just the worst.
Yeah.
Kengo is annoying. He's like,
he was boring, but
he's boring and he's annoying, and that's the thing. I mean, I kind of feel like when he was first introduced, he was kind of like, okay, you're the goofy like friend or whatever, cool, whatever. But just when he came back and he's like, oh, I'm the new Ixa, I'm the new like. What?
Like, I would much rather, like, I would have liked Kango more if he stayed his goofy rock star self.
Yeah, again, go watch our previous episode of what we said about Kango and what could have been.
It would have even been a nice callback to Hibiki if, like, for example, if he did become Ixa, but then after a fight, he would do a guitar riff.
Yeah,
because Todoroki would do that.
Yeah, because it's just like, no, do that, but no. I mean, that's the thing. It's you can't. Kengo is just annoying and boring. Mio is just the worst. She's
the worst.
She's the worst.
She's Lisa. She's got the red dress and everything. Can you imagine if the final villain wasn't Bishop, King, or Taya, but rather Mio would be the final boss? I mean, she did embrace her.
Are we trying to do a Netflix Cowboy Bebop type of thing where it's just like,
oh God,
yeah,
Julia, no,
no,
not Julia.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. That's the thing. I would imagine taking that story but putting in the Kamen Rider into Kiva, where it's like again, like oh, but like, yeah, but the king. It's like you find because again, the queen is the strongest piece on a chessboard,
Yeah.
and it's just like okay, that I would possibly like accept, but when you take an
Yeah.
established story of how it's like again, like take an established story, any established story that people know and they know from A to B, this is the story. And then you just no, the villain is not this person, it's this person because wait, that's the main character who we're supposed to be rooting for. That's the nice girl. Like, yeah, but she's and it's like, yeah, I would have said it would work for Mio because it would
See,
have been like, yeah, it's chess pieces and there you go. But I
like
mean,
I think it could have worked if you did sort of a Lady Macbeth slash Tara from Teen Titans sort of thing, where yeah, she would kill Taiga all the way because it's like Wataru, you're wasting your time. I'm gonna do what you should have
you
done.
can't, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna do what you cannot do, and like have her kill
Mhm.
Taiga. And it's like now Taiga's dead. Now we can be together, but you killed my
But
brother.
now,
Yeah,
but
so we
now
can be together.
Taiga has to like he's not dead. He's just maimed or whatever, being
Yeah,
held hostage,
yeah,
and it's for up to him to save him. But it's kind of like, oh god, how could I'm only bringing up. It's like if people remember the show Kill a Kill, where it's
yeah.
like the whole thing. It's like it's Satsuki versus Ryuko, and then it's like Satsuki gets beaten up, but she doesn't die. She gets held, and she gets like like just like
And
chained
then
up,
and then there's
and
like
then
a part
she
where they
has
switch outfits.
yeah, where like, but the thing is that she breaks out and now she teams up. It's kind of like I'm maimed on this, on that, but I'm like I know that I made a mistake and blah blah blah.
Or
Now it's
like how Game of Thrones should have ended.
yeah,
Freaking
yeah. That's
Jamie.
that
You
would have been
ruined
more.
Jamie.
Yeah, that would have been more acceptable for me in this story than anything else. Like it would have been like if Mio was actually the bad guy, like the legit end boss, which like that should have happened, but it didn't, sadly. In other shows that shouldn't have happened, it did, but this is where it should have been proper.
Yeah. Yeah. So like I'm thinking so like she would kill Taiga. And like I'm thinking like she could even like fully murk Taiga. And it's like because like remember on chessboard, you're not supposed to kill the king, you're supposed to capture him. But she
Mhm.
killed the king. So it's like,
Yeah.
but I did it so it could be together. But he's my brother though. It's
My
like
brother.
why aren't you embracing this?
Why aren't you
Mio,
happy that we're together?
Neo, what are you doing? You're not the person I fell in love with. It's like I don't like what you're saying, Wataru.
I
And then she goes like
don't.
full Terra from Teen Titans, and it's like now
Yeah.
she goes like full
Yeah.
evil
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
now Wataru
Or
wouldn't
she
embrace
goes
her.
full on Kathy Bates from Misery.
Yeah, yeah, like that would be a
Next
great way to
question.
make her the final villain.
Yeah, that should have been, but sadly, it's not what we got.
Yeah, she could evenly insta murk Bishop just to prove a point.
Mm-hmm.
But
But
like
didn't happen.
yeah, like it's not like Bishop's doing anything other than surprisingly being right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Lol, you and Miguel being the Blue Bros before they actually was the Blue Bros. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's true.
It was preordained. It was
Preordained.
before the times. It
Yeah.
was the
Two
prediction.
2 hour difference. We did it 2 hours before it actually happened.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Lol, Jiro in the bath seat. Not gonna lie, that was pretty
You
funny.
got to have a manly man scene, especially if the manly man is wolfen.
You know, it'd be funny if like Jiro smelled particularly bad in the bathtub because
Wet dog.
wet dog smell exactly. That would have been funny. Hold on. Kono mio da! Like I think I know what you're referencing. It's because she did like she unhooded herself in that scene from episode 42 and she kills that one chick. It's like you were expecting Maya to kill you, but it's actually I, Mio.
Ah,
Even
I know,
name
no,
is-
I know.
oh my god, like it just crossed my mind. Kono mio da.
Why has no one done a meme like that? Okay.
Who's that on the right?
Oh, shut up! I know who that is. Okay, yeah. Next question.
The belt. Wow. Okay. Yo, how you doing?
Mm-mm-mm.
And that's it for the comments, guys. I know we took a little bit longer than we're supposed to, but we had to go on that tangent about Morphicon for absolutely no reason other than you guys enjoy watching us rant. If you enjoyed, please be sure to comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos, and share the video because it helps us out with the algorithms. And tomorrow, Monday, we're gonna start things off with Ultraman Rube. That's right, new season of Ultraman. Ultraman Rube, which I always thought was called RB because
you're
Rapid
doing the one with the two Ultraman,
with the two brothers,
right?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. I thought it was that. I thought it was like, wait, the latest Ultraman series is out now, which is like, what's that one called?
No, we're gonna do that right after Rube.
Yeah. I was just like, wow, but I'm like, yeah. I was like, wait, I have to correct myself because I seriously was like, because that whole transformation device that they have shown, which I'm like, I mean, who knows? I don't know, but I'm like, Ultraman went from simple like little things. Now you got this fucking brick that you gotta carry around. And I'm like, well, hopefully it makes more. Not to say that Blazar was not with its wrist gauntlet, but
a giant wrist gauntlet.
I'm hoping that what you do with this is like, again, you only ever use like 5 medals, and there's like an entire like collection of unnecessary medals that you don't even need to collect.
Just like in Kamen Rider.
Well, yeah, no.
Yeah, how like you got like the essential ones from the show, and then you got the legacy ones.
Yeah, as long as you have those, but again, just like those, I'm like, if you want to get the CSM with the combos that were later on, but will never be seen in real life.
Well, I mean, you see the medals themselves.
You see them, yeah, you see them, but it's not like it's not like they were ever used. Which I'm like, wow, you have another 5 forms. Very interesting.
Yeah. So Ultraman Rube, Mondays 8 p.m. Pacific. We're doing the first 4 episodes tomorrow. And Wednesday, Kamen Rider Gotcha. We're back to the main story after being derailed for 4 weeks with Legend.
Wow.
Then Thursday, Bakuage Sentai Boom Boomger. And in this episode, our good friend Furuyama is going to be
Solsuke.
Solsuke.
That's one of the things of like saying his name is just like, like I know we look just Solsuke. Just for right now, it's Solsuke. Yeah. But it's like to see him back, and especially how his hair, how they kind of styled it. I was like,
yeah, very anime style. Yeah, he's gonna be back on Thursday, and then on Sunday we're gonna finish. We're gonna do the first half of the remaining arc because there's only 5 episodes left. So yeah,
that's right. We're only down to 5. So how many are we doing next week?
Yeah, we're doing episodes 44 through 46 on this upcoming week, and then the last 2 episodes the following week. It's appropriate because we're already doing like 2 hour and a half doing 4 episodes at a time. So it's like if we do like 3 and 2, hopefully it'll go by a lot quicker, and having only to do 2 episodes, we could do like the wheel and do our overall thoughts on the entire season. I think that's easier than just doing all 5 episodes in one fell swoop. So here we go.
Yeah, that's too much. That's too much.
What do you think this is? Kamen Rider build where we could just do 6 episodes, no problem?
That's because we were just like, oh my god, what happened? What's next? I can't wait.
Yeah, but now it's
Kiva, Kiva is not one of those shows. Kiva is like it's an action romance drama
Based on
where
Push by Sapphire.
where build was just comedy action.
Yeah,
Just
comedy action.
political comedy action.
Based on Push by Sapphire.
I kind of just say watch the series. The movies are not necessary. Even with Kiva, like that, the movies, everything is not necessary to watch.
Yeah, no, only like if you really think about it, only Deno's movie is really like essential.
Yeah, every Kamen Rider that has movies, really, they don't really add anything to the story.
Yeah, like the winter films, like they explain, like, oh, how did you get this orange switch that gave you double rocket or stuff like that?
Yeah, they may throw in some like little obscure thing here and there, but other than that, it's like nah.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to see the Geki Ranger movie to understand like Gekirin Toja, but
it's nice if you want to.
Yeah,
it's nice if you really want to see it. That's why I said it's optional. It's optional.
Yeah. So 5 more episodes to go, and we're getting to the good stuff. Because there won't be any Mio in the remainder of the season.
Yeah, no more drama. No more. This is the drama. The romance is gone. Now it is Endgame, and we all know what that means.
Yeah. And of course, be sure to check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we do more reviews, video game news, etc. It is Shrek month because today, May 19th, 2024, is the 20th anniversary of Shrek 2. I hope you guys enjoyed your green food of various kinds. Because we're doing all 4 Shrek movies. We already did Shrek 1 and 2. Be sure to check those out. And we're going to do Shrek 3 this Tuesday, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. And then we're going to do Shrek Forever After the week after. And if you want to check out our personal content, you could find us, well, you can find him
on just my IG for the send friends. I just post random stuff. I do art commissions, and all commissions are welcome and fair.
And of course, Instagram to find me, Boken_Kabuto, and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKabuto. And with that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay hydrated, up to your emergency kits. Hug your loved ones, and we will see you guys again real soon because Destiny's Play is almost at an end.
Stay away from pearls, guys.
Yes, and women named Mio.
Not so much.
Yeah,
it's a 50-50. As gambling. I have been told. Yeah. But again, let's not discriminate.
Yeah. Just
stay away from pearls.
Stay away from pearls. Stick to diamonds. They're a girl's best friend.